Alright, you guys, so I've had a couple of comments and messages, and people's asking me to do a walk around on the '07. So, this is my '07 Grand Prix GT 3.8 liter supercharged. So, this engine, I'm just going to go over everything. The engine is a Series 3 naturally aspirated, so just a stock bottom end out of an NA Grand Prix, or this one was actually out of a Buick Enclave, or something like a '08 or '09 Buick. But yeah, it's the exact same engine as the engine that's in the '06 Grand Prix, just a stock NA bottom end. I didn't do anything to the pistons or rods or any of that. Nothing to the crank. Just cleaned it up, wire wheeled the head gasket mating surfaces and the piston tops, and cleaned everything up, and that was it. So, as far as the engine build, it has the stock NA bottom end. These are Series 3 supercharged heads. They're just stock heads. They're not ported. They have the stock valves in them. They do have 155-pound valve springs. I have the comp cams, XPZ cam. I have the ZZP 7.0 and 7.050 push rods, the 3/8 push rods. I have the stock 3800 rockers. I have a double roller, Rollmaster double roller timing set, machined oil pump cover, extra thick timing cover gasket. Did the oil pump kit. It has a ZZP front and rear power log. It has the ZZP ceramic coated crossover. It's just a stock junkyard transmission out of another '07 Grand Prix Supercharged that I got for $100, and then it has a used 2500 stall converter, and I got that for like $150 a couple years ago. And so yeah, I just threw that in there. It does have an external transmission cooler up here in the grill. You can kind of see it in there. And then I just have it ran. Yeah, you can see the lines coming down here. They just go right up into the trans. But yeah, so I have external trans cooler. Top end, I've got just a stock lower intake manifold for the Gen 5 or Series 3 engine. Just not ported out or anything. I just cleaned it up and had the machine shop surface it flat. And then I got this Gen 5 full stack intercooler. It's a 2-inch intercooler core. And just got that rebuilt. Another thing, if any of y'all have a Gen 5 intercooler and it's leaking, a replacement intercooler is a 91 Ford Probe heater core. And I just rebuilt this one. It's in a couple videos ago. So if you need to figure out how to do that, you can go back and watch that video. But yeah, it's got the full stack intercooler. I got the ZZP little fill neck down here behind the headlight. Got the dual pass heat exchanger up front. And then I have the intercooler pump is mounted right behind the fog light over here. As you can tell, there's right there, right on the subframe, right behind the fog light. And so I've got all that. And then other than that, it's got a ZZP 3-inch catless downpipe, stainless downpipe. And it just goes right into the factory resonator and goes all the way back to these Bosel Pro Sport dual tip mufflers. They've been on here for about a year now, maybe a little over a year. But yeah, sounds pretty good. And then because I did the intercooler, I had to do this Gen 5 turn down adapter, and that was like $110 by itself just for that little piece. And then this air intake. This is actually for a Pontiac G8 with the LS, and normally it had another elbow, and so normally this would go over to the side. Actually, I believe it went on this side, but it would go over to the side and it would like snake over, and the intake's right in the front because it's rear wheel drive. But I got this off Facebook Marketplace for 40 bucks, and not the filter. It had a different filter. And but yeah, I got that for 40 bucks and just kind of adapted it and made it work in the Grand Prix. And then this is a 9-inch, 4-inch inlet ZZP filter that was like 40 bucks or 50 bucks just for the filter. It's like a knockoff K&N pretty much, but still really good filters. On the supercharger, it's not ported or anything. The only thing I did was a new coupler, new oil, 2.9 pulley with the ZZP hub, and then I got this belt wrap off of Facebook Marketplace used. I got the MSD coils off of Facebook Marketplace used. I had to drive to Missouri to get these, but I got them for 50 bucks. I got the MSD wires off of Facebook Marketplace, but they were brand new in the box, and I got those for like 40 or 50 bucks. A lot of this stuff I got used. The cam, the LS7 lifters, the push rods, like all the other internal stuff is all new. I did get the Aeromotive fuel rails, fuel logs off of Facebook Marketplace, and they were used, but they were like pristine condition. They're not scratched up or anything. And then right now I'm running Fort Lucas 42.5 pound injectors with 91 octane, but I have a set of 80 pound injectors for running E85. I already have installed the AEM E85 pump with a brand new pump assembly, and it's already in the tank, so everything's already been swapped out. I just need to get it tuned for E85 and the 80s, and then I can just throw the 80s in and get it tuned and should be good to go. Yeah, other than that, that's really the whole build. I mean, I dropped the subframe. It's got a brand new rack and pinion. It's got a ZZP sway bar. It's got the ZZP strut tower bar. I don't have the rear one. I got this off Facebook Marketplace. It's just a piece of plexiglass with the custom sticker. You can have it made however you want it, and that was 50 bucks. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is just off of Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of it's from ZZP. A lot of people don't really like these ZZP radiator hoses, but I have not had one problem with the hoses. I love them. And then I got the ZZP full aluminum radiator, and I got this used off of Facebook Marketplace as well with these fans. I'm pretty sure this was for a Bonneville, and these are Bonneville fans, and these fans came with this radiator and everything. I mean, it did bolt on up here, but it made the fan sit up too high, and it was hitting the mounts, so I just had to drop it down and zip tie there. But they did bolt in down there and on the other side as well. And then the only thing I had to do was these mounts that hold it in up top. These are off of the 98 GTP parts car, and they just have a little piece of rubber that just sets up against the radiator and just kind of holds it up. And then the AC condenser does not bolt to this radiator at all, so it's just kind of set in there, and the lines is kind of what holds it. Everything in this car does work. The AC has been vacuumed and charged with the professional machine. The AC works. The heater blows great. It does have a 180 thermostat in it. And that's really pretty much it. Have aftermarket headlights and fog lights. This one's already got condensation in it, and then this headlight was getting some condensation in it over here. Looks like it's dried out, so that's good. So yeah, that's what the fog should look like, nice and clean. Headlights were like $100 on eBay. I only got them because I have the gray side markers instead of the amber. And then these are brand new. They were like 40 bucks for both fog lights. And they come with new bulbs and everything. So it was a good deal. The bumper I got off of Facebook Marketplace for free. I just had to drive to Arkansas and go pick it up. And the lady had it for $25. And I told her I was coming from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she was like, well, if you're going to drive that far, you can just have it. And I was like, awesome. So drove out there in the 06 and got it. And it's been good. So it's been in storage for a while. I finally got it put on the car. And it's still got a little bit of a hump right in here where it's not really wanting to fit super duper great. But I think once it gets body worked and everything, maybe we can heat this up with the heat gun and kind of flatten it back out. But overall, the fitment is really good. So it just needs sanded and body worked and painted. And then I can put my fender splash guards back in because they're not even in right now. And then yeah, I've got the eBay drilled slotted rotors. They were like ECCPP or Braked Motive, or I don't remember what brand they were, but ceramic pads and drilled slotted rotors. Stock calipers. I just cleaned them up and painted them red. Never even painted the rears. I did on the 06, but I never painted the ones on the 07. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole build. And then I did swap out the interior because this had black leather interior, and I swapped this interior. It's gray heated leather. Swapped it into the 06 out of another parts car that I had, and it was a lot nicer. The driver's seat was way nicer than the black leather interior that was in here, so I swapped all the interior around. Got me 2 SCAR 12s in a SCAR box with the Nemesis 3K amp. Beats. I'm having to deal with this right now until I get the wire harness adapter that lets me keep steering wheel controls and all that, because I have a nice Pioneer touchscreen double din in the 06 that I was trying to hook up in here, and without having that box, there's no way to run it without running a whole nother wire to the ignition. And then whenever I had the screen hooked up in here before, and when I had the wire hooked up straight into the ignition, it was making it misfire really, really bad. And so I guess it was pulling power from the ignition system for spark, is what I'm guessing. So that could also be another reason I've been having a random multiple misfire, and I've been fighting it. I'm thinking it's this grounds down here, but it could be because I have my intercooler pump spliced into the fuse box in here for the ignition system. So when I turn the key on, the pump automatically kicks on. And then since I have the tune where the fans stay running for 60 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, however long it is, after key off, then as long as those fans are running with the hot engine, then the intercooler pump will stay running until it kicks off. So, but yeah, I mean, she's been running really good. I'm just, every once in a while, like every couple days, I get a 0300 code for a random multiple misfire. But other than that, she's been running great. It's got Autolite Copper 103s, and they're only been in there for a couple weeks since I did the intercooler reinstall. But yeah, that's the whole build. So she's been sitting for like 3 or 4 hours now, so I guess I'll do a cold startup. So here, I'm gonna throw you guys over here on this little tripod. Let's do a cold start for you guys. go check engine lights right now. Looking at 62 intake air, 119 water temp, gallon per hour of fuel, negative 8 pounds of boost, so I'm pulling 8 pounds of vacuum. Great. Oh, and then also with using the intercooler, you have to get a breather because this intercooler, the old style Gen 5, blocks the PCV port. So you have to run a breather. There's just no way, or you have to get the newer, like 1.5 inch or 1 inch intercooler from ZZP. And that's their new style, and it has the straight through design for the PCV valve. But yeah, you can tell this one, it's not even hooked up to the boot. But yeah, she runs great. Here, let me extend this. Go down a little bit. Sound good? That's her, baby. Yeah, it also has ARP head studs, stock, just some eBay $25 head gaskets on there right now. I have some DZP multi-layer, all metal head gaskets, and no, they're not even the ZZP ones. They're Cometic head gaskets. But I need to clean them and drill out the rivets and get them all cleaned up before I can use those. So I'm sure I'm going to drive this for a while. I'm sure eventually I'm going to fuck something up on it and I'll have to pull it out. Inside I have a set of diamond turbo pistons. And so they're got a lower compression ratio, just like the supercharged pistons. And so I'm wanting to get those done, but it's a lot of work. But I have ARP main studs and ARP rod bolts for those. And I also have a little $130 eBay turbo that's powder coated red. That would look really good sitting right about here. But I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole build, you guys. Let's do some more exhaust. Alright, so now, just turn the key off. So, as you can hear, intercooler pump. Oh, it's not running. I wonder what happened there. Normally it stays running for a few minutes. Huh. That is not good. Not good at all. Alright, well, I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Like I said, I could have blown that fuse, but if that would happen, then pretty sure the car wouldn't have any lights on the dash or anything, because that's the main power for the ignition. So But yeah, that's the whole build, y'all. So I guess if you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything, leave me a comment. Or you can also hit me up on Facebook and send me a friend request. It's just Thomas Moody. You'll see a picture of the 07 Prix. And yeah, just send me a message on Facebook and tell me YouTube brought you here, and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. And like I said, I try to help people as much as I can. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.